Okay, it is 9:51 a.m. and I want to go over my thoughts as well as a trade I took with ILUS. And this was not a morning panic bounce play. This was something I have less experience with, trading things that are uptrending. Ideally, I've seen this before when it has a little range that it trades in the first few minutes of the market and it breaks past it. It looks really nice and makes a lot of, nice moves towards the upside the most of the time. And this was one potential setup right here. I was not there when this one happened. I was too busy looking at HMBL because it was looking like a morning panic bounce play. And sure, in theory, maybe I could have taken a buy here in a 15.7, but at that point I was looking at other ones that were looking nicer. This one trades with a bit of a spread, but there was opportunity here. Never got to 16, at least as of right now, but it wasn't like something that just immediately failed. Again, it's not as likely to do something nice with a daily chart like the way it is, but it wasn't absolutely horrible. And as for ILUS, again, no morning panic bounce play here, but I have seen this thing that, when something just starts uptrending and looking super nice, and it starts to make a distance from VWAP, and then it kind of heads back very quickly and briefly towards VWAP, and then it holds. I've seen that work a lot of times, so I did take a trade for that reason, and I was just trading with 1,000 shares. I'm not trying to make, like $1 million or 100 or $1,000. I'm still trading with, small position sizes because ultimately, if I do, trade and make that amount of money, those larger amounts of money, it's going to be the same things that I'm doing right now. So I'm just learning the framework. I'm not, trying to hit a home run. I'm just trying to really just get better at the trading process. Although it could be a little different because if you trade with a much larger size, it's going to be harder to get in and out, I think. But I'm just trying to get good at the process. I'm not living off of this day trading money. No way. At 9:40, I was in at 15.34, which was right here. Actually, a really good entry now looking at it in the chart. Just had a big volume sell off, as you can see here and here. And it looked like it was holding very nicely in the 15.20 level. And it did hold. I would have gotten out if it were to have broken 15.2, and I'm in at 15.34. So I would have lost like $1.40 or something tiny. Maybe worst case I get a sell at 15, then I'd be out $3, but that didn't necessarily happen. I was gonna cut it again right here if it were to have broken that level that it was trying to hold, and I'm in at 15.34 at 9:40 right here. And then it did immediately work. I sold half of my position at 15.48, and I was at 9:42 right here in this candle, 15.48 right here, the bottom of this green candle. The idea is that it was uptrending a little. I'm going to sell half my position. It's going to help me hold the other half of the position longer if it decides to work even more from this point. And so what ultimately happened is that, again, I sold half of my position, and then I sold the other half the next minute at 9:43. This candle right here, it just looks like it was going to have some topping action, but it could have kept going, honestly. And I got filled at 15.6 at 9:43 right here. The bottom of this green candle right here. Yeah, next candle sold off. This would have, this would have stunk, but I mean, it did come back immediately. So even if I was not selling because of the price action, just when it breaks, just a trend, I would have been able to sell here still for a profit or maybe break even at worst case scenario. So that was a trade there with ILUS, and maybe if it consolidates over time and it tries to break the day high, I would be interested in something like that. It can totally do something like that, but it doesn't have to. And as for the other ones, this one has no volume. This one has no volume. Again, I was watching this for a morning panic bounce play, but ILUS was looking better. Nothing here. I was also wanting the same setup with INTK. The same idea with ILUS. Again, it has an uptrend and then it drops, holds VWAP. This one never really did it. If it doesn't now, at this point, I'd be less interested in it because that could be like a complete momentum change, not like just a quick, dip and then it keeps going. So I'll keep watching INTK. This one is offering a really nice, price action towards the upside. Again, none of these are morning panic bounce plays that I trade the best, but I'm gonna watch this and try to get better at other setups. So I'll be watching this. And one more stock. I think it was this one. Yeah, this one was interesting because it just had this crazy move. This is one where I wanted to have done the thing like I was interested in with ILUS because it just doesn't have the volume for it, and it kind of just flew off of the air, so that's a bit sketchy. But if this one can break this multi-day high level at some point, that would be something really nice to look at. Even if it's super liquid the way it is, I'll just trade smaller. So I'll look at this as well. That's all I have for right now. Alright, it is 11:57. I want to make a quick recap as to where we are right here. I do kind of regret that with ILUS I wasn't really sized in appropriately. I think at least according to my journal here, I was trading with just a $2.50 loss if I was going to cut losses again at 940 with ILUS was my entry right here, I believe. No, actually right here, 940. Yeah, if it were to have broken 15.2 and I would have cut at 15.1, worst case 15, but probably 15.1, I would have lost only $2.50. So that means I should have went, 4,000 shares. And I would have made that a lot more profitable. And I've been having that issue just not trading enough size. So I'm like, again, I don't want to trade too much, but at the same time, I do have that fear that if I decide to size in correctly or size in appropriately or, just trade a bit larger because the setup is more ideal, that I lose there. And then it wipes out everything that I've made with the tiny profits and tiny gains with tiny sizes. So I need to get out of that mindset and just work towards the fact that the market isn't against me. There's no voodoo magic or anything like that out there. So I definitely need to size up, or at least if it's not like what it was here, a morning panic bounce play, stick to my $10 risk level. Nothing really impressive that, or at least something I wanted to trade, but I do like how it kind of dipped under VWAP and then it came back, although this would have been a little sketchy right here. If it didn't have a morning spike, if it had a morning panic, I would have been interested in it. HMBL did offer something like that, but this one trades with a bit of a spread and it's not very ideal again because of the daily chart. In theory, if I see a excuse me, if I see a nice stock that offers something like this with a morning panic, this is a kind of setup where I can trade $1,000 position because I've seen this happen enough of times that it has a morning panic, it consolidates, and then it eventually breaks past VWAP, and that would have been nice, even though the range isn't, totally amazing. I mean, 15.7, 5, and then, maybe a sell into the 16.10. It's not the best range, but it's something that I've seen happen a lot consistently, and I would like to be a part of that with a larger size. Nothing with this one that I'm interested in. I mean, I like how it tried to bottom near the level that it did here, but this thing doesn't trade with any volume. And then this one, INTK, this one is nice. I was not really here when it did this move. Maybe it can continue the run. Ideally, it can, and if it can run for more than like 3 green days in a row, this thing can be a super nice candidate for a morning panic bounce play. And as for this one, MDMP, I'm not sure when I last was recording, but I was watching it for a break towards 22. I just didn't like the price action here. I probably should have taken it anyway, especially if I trade a small size. But I just, I'm just kind of iffy with it. But it eventually did break, and get to 22, which was super nice. It didn't actually get, near the day highs, not day highs, but multi-day highs and break that. But this thing can try to do it later. Maybe it dips towards a VWAP and trades around it, consolidates, and then breaks past it or something like that. I might try to retackle it later, maybe in the afternoon. If this was a Friday, I'd be super interested because then, there's going to be more excitement. But this isn't really that bad either. I think I had a verified cancel order. Okay, so I did try to buy INTK actually. Let's just go over that. 5,000 shares at 10:15. When was that? 10:15 right here. Yeah, that's right. So I was thinking about that, that it would maybe dip towards VWAP, but I didn't like this one anymore because it was taking so long, and if it was gonna gradually get there, I was no longer gonna be interested in it. So why did I consider a trade? That was because there was like a 400K seller supporting the bid, and if there's a 400K seller supporting the bid, and it's not the best ideal setup, but again, if we have that much support, what could go wrong? And as you can see, um, that 400K seller must have had more size, but the thing did get taken out eventually, so I never liked it afterwards. It did downtrend, but it's offered a nice move since, and I don't, regret it at all. I would have been wrong right here. Again, only interested because of that 400K seller, but once he was out, I was out, and I didn't get filled anyway, so yeah, that was the case with that. So that's all I have for right now. I don't think I'll trade anything else, but if I do, I'll make an update. Alright, it is 8:02 p.m. and overall I am up, I believe, $2.01. I'm going to get the exact number with Fidelity because of the prices here are, they're summarized, they're rounded, so it's not the exact number. I'll get the exact number and have that in the video, but overall I didn't make much because I didn't trade as large as I should have with ILUS with a $10 risk level on the setup. That kind of worked out here. It didn't really do something too crazy nice, but that was the idea there. And yeah, I don't want to like go over everything once again, but I actually was interested in HMBL just because of the fact that it kind of broke this downtrending trend line, right? And now it kind of did like this base, this curving action, so maybe this thing can try to uptrend, but I do take into account that this thing has an absolutely dead daily chart once again, and I was actually just trying to just to really consider it, just 100 shares, but then I realized the market already closed by 2 minutes, so I never really got filled. But the idea with HMBL is that it could try to do something like a morning spike tomorrow, or maybe even a gap up, but maybe not. That's why I was only going to mess with 100 shares, just to get that trading experience, not trying to make a home run, putting all my money into an account. Like everything I have and then trying to day trade. It's no, I just want to scale up, but that was interesting there. I guess I'll go over my attempt to buy with ILUS because it shows that I had one. Let's see if I can remember it because it's been a while. 243. Yeah, I was interested in it, and that maybe it was going to hold VWAP here and then maybe try to make a run for the day high or just finish strong and maybe continue the option tomorrow. But as you can see, I mean, it kind of worked, but then it broke briefly under and then it kind of came back and then it dropped right at the end. The overall markets did not look very nice, so maybe that was also not in favor for this one to continue something. INTK did a really nice move today. A lot of people are interested in it because of the recent, I guess, just recent, I don't want to call it a promotion, but recent attention, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, I did have that interest right here. It did break under, but this one was nice to continue the uptrend, and maybe if I was there, I might have considered something like this. Right here where it broke the day high, then it kind of came back. It got a little under, but then it caught itself, and that would have been a rather safe entry for the most part, but that can be something I can try in the future. And this one fell off a cliff. I never liked the way this one was trading because the way it would trade just makes you feel like you have to chase to get in. And this one absolutely kind of blew up at the very end, as well as this one. Although I never traded it, this one had a first red day. I was interested in shorting it yesterday, but I didn't like how much it costed to short on trade 0. Maybe it was cheaper this day, I'm not extremely sure, but this was a pretty nice bounce. If it had more volume, I totally would have considered trading something like that. That's all I have for today. Just one more day tomorrow, and yeah, I need to size up. I've been rather profitable, sticking to my dollar risk levels, staying true to them. A lot of things I need to keep getting better at, but yeah, that's all I have for today.